So in a few hours from now, the American President Donald Trump will be addressing the nation, and the world, of course, is waiting with bated breath to listen to what Donald J. Trump has to say. In the build-up to his speech, the American president has amplified his stance on the NATO military alliance and also the talks that he claims he's having with Iran. Has also been talking to a lot of American media networks, and in an interview to the news agency, the wire agency Reuters, the American president revealed that he'll convey his disgust with the NATO military alliance during his address to the nation. Now, Trump has been expressing disappointment with the NATO military alliance since the onset of the war, from the very first week. In a separate interview with the British Daily Telegraph, the American president has called the NATO military alliance to be a paper tiger and has said an exit from NATO is now beyond reconsideration. Now, on the war with Iran, the American president has said that he can call for an end to Operation Epic Fury, quote-unquote, pretty quickly. And just a few hours ago, he's also made a post on his social media platform, Truth Social. The statement says that Iran apparently is asking the United States of America for a ceasefire. Now, the American president has further said that he'll consider the offer when the Strait of Hormuz is open. The Iranian side, however, has refused any negotiations with the American country's top leadership. That continues to reiterate its demands that have been made by the United States, and it has said that these American demands are simply unacceptable. According to Reuters, a report, Donald Trump has asked Vice President J.D. Vance to communicate with the Iranian side and to tell them that the United States is open for a ceasefire if Iran accepts at least some of the demands. These include the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. The same report has claimed that J.D. Vance delivered a stern message to Tehran. He warned the Iranian side of strikes on its infrastructure if a deal is not reached. So all eyes are now on Washington, where Donald Trump will step up to speak to his nation, and the end of the war or a possible escalation or a decision on the NATO military alliance. All possibilities at this moment remain open. All right, now joining us on the broadcast, we've got our correspondent Susan Tehrani, who's joining us live from New York. Susan, what are you picking up at your end? What is it that Donald Trump wants to speak to the American people about?
So, Mohammed, as you mentioned, there are a number of possibilities and a number of issues that the president can talk about at his 9 p.m. address. All major television networks here are going to be carrying it, and television networks have been told to put aside about 20 minutes of time for this live address. The White House says that it's very important. It's related to what's happening in Iran, but as it always is with the president, you never know what he's going to be talking about. Some believe it's going to be some sort of a halt to violence, a ceasefire. Others believe that's very unlikely, considering the fact that just until yesterday, we had Secretary of State Marco Rubio say that the United States is confident it's going to reach its objectives. It's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. But we do see a light at the end of the tunnel. So is it going to be the cessation of hostilities? Possibly not. And what about the possibility of ground troops? Will Donald Trump talk to the nation and try to win the hearts and minds of the American people to send some form of limited ground incursion into Iran for its nuclear capabilities? So there are a number of options, but the most important thing is that the president has decided to make this primetime address at a time when the war is not exactly very popular among the American people. Maybe among the MAGA base, but definitely not among independents and Democrats, which are the main voting blocs going into the 2026 midterm elections.
Interesting. Susan, do continue to stay on with us. We've also got some breaking news that's just coming.